Good afternoon, everyone. We are here for a bill signing for Ordinance 31-11 amended. This is only the second kind of ceremonial bill signing that we've done since I've been mayor, and even though this is I feel cheesy myself, I must admit. There's some good things that we're all making happen together, and the bill signing is one way not only to shine a spotlight on some of the positive things we're doing, but also to take a moment and recognize the people who really participate in the legislative process, particularly a bill like this that was a really good example of how collaboration can work. So there are going to be 4 speakers today. In addition to myself, John Arison, the Director of Planning and Zoning, Chuck Walsh, the board member of the Economic Development Corporation, and Alderman Dick Israel, Chairman of the Rules Committee.
And a 5th speaker.
And a 5th speaker. This is like out of a dramatic movie where he comes out of his recovery table just to make it here.
Right.
And just for that, Majed, if you would like to speak, you are welcome to as well.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right. So in a nutshell, Ordinance 31-11 is a way to streamline Annapolis's permit and development application process. And just by way of example, right now, before this is signed, if you want to open a restaurant downtown, you have to go through 4 public hearings before 4 separate public bodies: the Planning Commission, Board of Appeals, Historic Preservation Commission, and Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. And every new public hearing is additional time and expense and one more layer of unpredictability to the process. And what all of us are focused on here in the city, at the city council level, at the staff level, and working with some of our partners like the Economic Development Corporation, is looking for ways to streamline the process and make it more user-friendly, both for residents and business people, to do business with city government. And what Ordinance 31-11 will do is, for certain types of applications, it will eliminate the Planning Commission hearing. For others, it will eliminate the Board of Appeals hearing. And I believe with the intense scrutiny and review and amendments that have been put together, it strikes the right balance between streamlining the process, but also making sure we're protecting public input and ensuring a quality review process for each application. So with that, I'd like to invite the Planning Director, John Arison, to say a few words.
Thank you.
Mr. Arison.
Good afternoon, everybody. When we put this bill together, we had a press conference. It was outside. I remember it was quite warm. We thought we had a pretty good bill, but as a result of a lot of people worked on this actually, and a result of all the scrutiny and all the work from the EDC, Shannon with Hyatt and Weber, and then the City Council and the Rules Committee. As good as we thought the bill was when we first wrote it, it's so much better now. And it's been a good experience too, working closely, especially with EDC, because this was an opportunity for us to really get to know each other, and I'm really happy that we're at this point now, so thank you.
John referred to the Rules Committee, and the Rules Committee spent a great deal of time and several meetings working on this and coming up with a set of amendments that were adopted unanimously, and I'd like to ask the Chairman, Alderman Israel, to say a few words.
Thank you. The word that comes to mind in dealing with this legislation is balance. I think we try to bring some balance into this so that there's an expeditious handling of these matters, and yet we preserve the right of the public to be heard. I think we don't know whether we got the balance right. We're going to look at this another year or so to see how the legislation works, but I think we've got it right, and I think my colleagues, Alderman Arnett and Alderman Cassie-Hoyle, for their hard work, and John Arison for his assistance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And finally, I'd like to invite representatives from the Annapolis Economic Development Corporation to speak, beginning with the chairman, who has a flair for the dramatic entrance, Majed Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, John, staff of the EDC, as well as our dedicated board members that you see here beside me. I want to actually turn this over to the person who really did the hardest amount of work, the heavy lifting from the Board of Directors viewpoint, and that is our chairman of our Land Use and Planning Committee, Chuck Walsh, who has lived here in the city for a number of years He owns property in the city. He's seen the processes when they didn't work, and he saw a way to make it better. And his passion really drove the board in the direction of our staff to help write this legislation. But it wouldn't have happened though. And John, I've got to really commend you for helping us and working with us through a lot of very tense meetings, you know, before the council and outside of the council's earshot to get the thing right to you.
But the door was always open.
The door was always open, that's right. And I think this is indicative, incidentally, of the type of public-private partnership that we're going to see go forth in the city of Annapolis, where a business community may have an issue or a problem that needs to be resolved. The city of Annapolis is open for business. It's a matter of take those ideas, work them through a process, get the public involved, so we get a balance, as Alderman Israel mentioned, a balance in the legislation. It takes time, but it has to start somewhere. And so I want to thank all the business community members, thank particularly our staff, our CEO and President, Laura Fritz. I'm going to turn over to Chuck Walsh, who really worked the hardest on this thing. And Chuck, kudos to you. Thank you very much for persistence, your passion that you brought to the table here and helped drive this thing through. And then Cardi. Cardi, you're just fantastic as well. These are some tremendously great board members. She is in the Eastport area. And you know we have 6 commercial districts in the city of Annapolis. And so this legislation, while it's focused on streamlining the process, all 6 commercial districts will stand to be much better and much stronger and much more user-friendly than ever before. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations. The city, I think, will do better. But I'd like to have Chuck come and say a few words.
Well, Majette stole my speech.
All right, moving right along.
Exactly. But there's a lot of discussion because the focus is on the few large development projects in the city that will potentially benefit by this. But as the mayor said, and this was the mayor's idea with John from the start, this concept of streamlining. This is going to help small businesses of all types who are frankly burdened by the process as it is today, fairly or unfairly. There are a lot of people that made this happen. If we hadn't had Shannon Waldron's help with all of her experience, this would not have been possible. But the person and the department that truly made this happen, because he was open to our ideas, is John Arison.
Yes.
And Jackie Rouse, who I spent enough time with on the phone, planning and zoning was terrific, and if we can have this kind of collaboration going forward, we can get that band back together. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you.
All right, so let's sign this bill into law. Majette, as I was listening to you, I wasn't feeling the passion from you. Just kidding.
We'll work on that in the next
Right.
piece of legislation,
All
okay?
right, just kidding. All right. Now, for those of you who follow the state, when they do bill signings, the governor has this nice pen with the signature on it, and they have frames. We have Sharpies. The citation says, this pen, used on February 16, 2012, to sign into law Ordinance 31-11 amended, is presented to, name, in grateful appreciation of your input and collaboration during the legislative process. This ordinance will streamline Annapolis's development process, making it more user-friendly and predictable while still ensuring public review and input. And it's being presented to the 3 members of the Rules Committee, to Chuck Walsh, and Cardi Templeton, and Majette Parker from the EDC board, to Laura Fritz, to Shannon Waldron, and to John Arison. That concludes it. Thank you all for your work, and this bill. Yes.
I would like to thank Karen Hardwick and the Office of Law for their assistance in this work. We had many amendments, and they were very helpful in sorting out all these amendments. Thank you very much.
Dick, didn't you mean to say very colorful?
Very colorful.
All right. This bill is now signed into law. Thank you all very much. This is a great step forward.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.